Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with the Shark. Dude, come on, my hair. I really, it's unbelievable. But nevertheless, I think that's the least of our worries. As long as we are healthy, we have a roof under our heads, we are eating, and we are eating daily. Unfortunately, I don't know what the hell is going on, but do you remember the first days or the first weeks that we were all craving like banana bread? And first of all, we were all seeking toilet paper because we thought that it was a diarrhea issue, but we came to know that it wasn't diarrhea. And then we were craving banana bread and sweets, carbs. And I don't know what's the trend right now, but whatever is the trend, I think it's happening or it's what's going on. And I don't know, but it's interesting. So nowadays here in California, I just hang up the phone with a cousin of ours, and we were talking about the implications or I think we were going to go back to the offices. And to tell you the truth, I don't think California is going back to offices and to fully be open until next year. And it's my belief that it's not because of the pandemic. It's my belief that it's mostly inclined to political reasons. And remember, in the United States, it's an election year. So whatever they can do to help their party, they'll do it. And that's my belief, at least. So how about it that Russia has the vaccine, according to them, and they're not going to offer it to the world, only to their friends. And obviously, United States of North America, it's not their friend. So I don't think we're getting it from Russia, and I don't think they're even allowing it to come into the Americas. So we'll see what happens as well there. So let's continue with our week topic, which is entrepreneurship. And I want to start this little conversation with you with a story. It's a very interesting story that actually it did not happen to me. It's an old story, and I think it's very relevant either to our current situations, it's relevant to our businesses, it's relevant to our lives, it's relevant to our interaction with everybody that is around us in our circle. So I'll start by telling you that this story starts in the kitchen, and somebody pulled out a pot, fill it out with water, turn on the stove, and let the water start boiling. And when the water was at its hottest point, which was boiling, they actually took a frog and dumped it in. The frog immediately jumped out of the boiling water pot because the frog instinct was to survive, and it was impossible to tolerate the boiling water. Nevertheless, they actually tried it on another way. What they did is they actually dumped the water from the boiling pot. They let the pot cool down. They put water in, but at the same time, they actually put the frog in. So what happened is that the water temperature started rising, obviously, but the frog did not jump out because the frog started to accept. Listen to the word. The frog started to accept and adapt to the heat or to the temperature of the water. Interesting. So little by little, the temperature started rising. The frog started getting used to the hot temperature until the frog died. He was boiled, or it was boiled. It ended up boiling without knowing. I really think that this applies to all of us in our businesses. This applies to all of us in our lives. In every single situation that we accept and we tolerate shit that we like, we are dying boiled. And that's what happens in our business. We start our business or we start our career as entrepreneurs, but we start accepting and tolerating shit that we did not know we had to do when we started our business. We get used to it. But we get used to it and we die. We die internally, we die externally, our businesses die, our relationships die, our family goes away, they die, because we simply get used to it. The same thing that happened to the frog. The frog got used to the boiling water in the second experiment. In the first, they immediately jumped because they did not tolerate the water. It was too boiling, it was too hot. So it wasn't tolerable. That's what we should do. But our daily activities, our desire to be successful and not wanting to fail, because failure to us, it's bad, we don't jump out of the boiling water. We say, there's a saying, and we all I think we all know it, is that the what is it called? I lost the word. The captain of the boat sinks with the boat. It is true. Nevertheless, as captain of the boat, as leader of your company, you have to recognize the signs and the signals to when it's time to get that boat docked and move on. When you start a new business, you get to a point where everything starts falling in place. It starts falling in place because you're complacent, the water is rising and you're getting used to the water rising in temperature, or it's falling in place based on your business plan. Your business starts getting consistent income from customers that you enjoy working with, at the same time from customers that you despise. That's a very harsh word. You actually despise working for them, but you need the income. You have an assistant that is making your life a lot easier. I hope so. A person responsible for marketing and a person to keep the IT and systems working in order. You have a team, right? You have a team that might be able to go into that boiling water and pull you out. You are growing at a steady pace and thinking your functioning is normal. That's your belief. That's how you feel. That's your perception. Except for you, the entrepreneur, the business owner. You're still making all the decisions. You're having to come up with ideas. You're having to still work in your business versus on your business. And let me take a time here to explain the difference, because we've said it multiple times over and over and over, but I don't think it gets clear. If you're working In your business, you're working for delivering the product or service to your clients. You're working on making decisions. You're working in the business to get it to survive, not to grow. Okay? That's the difference. When you work on your business, you're making decisions and activities that are positioning your business for growth. I'm not going to say success, but because success depends on everything, on the orchestra playing at the same tune to make it successful. But at least if you work on the business, systems in place, procedures in place, amazing deliveries, everything making it right. I'm not saying perfect or excellent, but at least so you can get out of your business and enjoy. The less you work, the more your business is going to grow. So that's the difference between working in your business versus on your business. You are struggling to have the true freedom that comes with being a true business owner. If you have to be, listen, not because you want to, if you have to be in your business so your business can generate revenue and your business can continue moving forward, you have an employment. You are a gig worker. You are not an entrepreneur. You are not a business owner. You are a business operator. You have created a company to auto-employ yourself. That's all you've done. Okay? So don't call yourself an entrepreneur. Okay? You're a business operator. You own your own business that you are operating. Okay? That's quite a harsh reality, but that's the truth. And it is what it is. So if you can actually pick up one day, take a month of vacation without a cell phone or without needing to answer the phone every single freaking time, without needing to review your emails 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. Okay? FYI, I don't check my emails other than twice a day. I sometimes receive emails from people saying, oh, can I have a phone call with you in 10 minutes? As if I had my email embedded into my brain, so I read my emails every single freaking minute. I don't. It's not productive. It doesn't help me grow as an individual. It doesn't help me focus on what the task I have in front of me. And it doesn't help me at all. Period. You should not be checking your every single freaking, because it doesn't let you focus on the task that it's on hand. The only reason you're checking your emails, as we say, every single moment is because you want to have things to do and not focus on the big picture. You want little minuscule tasks so you can seem to be busy. Just analyze it. Okay? You're still working. You're working in the business instead of on the business. The most successful individuals on earth check their emails at night. Their personal emails. Their assistants check their emails on a regular basis. Again, not every single freaking minute. Okay? And if it's important, they'll get a message, they'll get a note, whatever the procedure they have put in place for this individual to be aware or to be let known of the issue at whatever is happening. So here are some ways to start changing the culture of your business to have management start being more independent and not become the frog in the boiling water pot. Clear responsibilities. To truly start to be a business owner, you have to start delegating tasks and putting specific people responsible for those tasks. You need to make them accountable. Accountability It's the keyword here. Don't slack. Make them accountable for true reasons, for reality, for reals. If they fuck up, don't tolerate it. If somebody fucks up for the first time, yes, it's not, unless it's something big, it's not reason to fire them or whatever, but do reprimand them, do let them know. It's so funny because a friend of ours, his attorney, his labor attorney recommended him not writing them up, not writing up their employees, because it wasn't a good business practice or management decision. Really? Jesus. Do that, please. Do write them up, give them verbal warnings, inform them of the verbal warnings, have supporting documentation of the disciplinary actions. Do make people accountable. Do make them accountable. Because in turn, they're going to make you accountable. And you have to be responsible of your own actions. And in that way, we all are going to be clear on the responsibilities that we have. But there need to be very, very, very clear understanding, definition, clarity as to who, whom, and what they're responsible for. What are they responsible for? What are their goals? What are they supposed to be doing? When is it due? What's going to happen if it's not on time? At time, what's going to be the reward? But what's going to be the repercussions if they don't reach their goals? Imagine having a sales team without goals. What do you think it's going to happen? The first thing that comes in mind is if they're on a salary basis, you're fucked. Because if there's no goal, they're just going to be sitting down, warming that freaking seat, and doing shit. It is true. They're not going to be selling, and you're going to be bumping your head towards the wall. It's like, why am I not having new sales? Because you have no clear goals. Have you told your sales department, if this month you don't reach this goal, you're fired? Guess what? That's going to be a great perch of your sales department, because they're going to leave immediately and they're going to save you the salary. Clear responsibilities. Second, have a compelling vision. You have to create a compelling vision so that individuals on the team understand the decision-making process. People on the team understand your long-term goal. When you have a solid vision of the company business management, management will know the right decision based on the vision. Until this day, Walt Disney Company still has Walt Disney's vision in mind. They know it by heart. Walt's vision still engraved in the mission of the company. It's still embedded into the DNA of the company. It's still embedded into the DNA and day-to-day operations of the executive team, and all the way from the top to every single cast member in that organization. Whether it's Walt Disney, whether ESPN, whether it's Fox, whatever it is. Whatever company they buy, it's embedded into that DNA. And they know it's clear, it's concise, it's an organizational standard. So you as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to bring down your vision that it's up here, okay, that it's up here, down to earth, and really transmit it with that clarity that anybody, even a year old, will understand and follow it That's why there's an exercise that when you create a vision board, you have to also include your values, your principles, your vision, but it's your personal and at the same time your company's. Because if there's a disconnection between your personal values and vision and your company's values and vision, that's what's going to happen. You're never going to be in tune. Everything is going to be in moving. Okay? The yin yang, they complement each other. The left and the right, the black and the white, credit and debit. Okay? Positive and negative. So they need to be in tune. They need to be synchronized. They need to be aligned. Your vision, your company's vision. Your beliefs, your company's beliefs. Your values have to be the same as your company values. Would you cheat personally? So you're cheating in your company. An example. Number 3, prepare for mistakes. Mistakes, flaws, failures. Yes, to truly let people make decisions, you have to let them make mistakes and let them fix the mistakes they make. Let me give you an example. If you try to do your own tax return and you screw up, you're going to learn from that mistake because it's going to cost you. Right? You might learn so well that it has 2 options. The first and best option, that is my recommendation, is to go with an expert in tax returns. Or second, it's for you to not repeat the same mistake you did on your previous. Right? That would be the logical. When it comes to your business, your team, if they're trying to do it on their own, that's commendable. If they're trying to learn on their own, that's commendable. But you need to weigh in what's going to be most costly. And you need to consider 2 things: time and money. Okay? Time, it's not money. Time is freedom. Money is freedom. So time is not money. Time does not equal money. Okay? Time and money equals freedom. Now, what's going to be the most expensive mistake in your executive team? What's the worst, and we'll use here Tony Robbins' exercise. What's the worst thing that it could happen if your executive team makes certain mistakes? It's going to cost you probably a year of your companies. And how much is it going to cost you? Now, are you able to buy back time? I've never heard anybody being able to buy back time. So if somebody out there is willing to challenge me, I'm up for the challenge. Let me know, how can I buy back time? First of all. Second, it's going to cost you either in taxes, penalties, lost revenue, lost profit, excessive expenses, whatever it is. What do you think fast would be the easiest and least expensive solution? Hire advisors for your team. Does that make sense? You need to be prepared for mistakes. You cannot be blind and say there's not going to be any mistakes. Sometimes this can be very, very difficult, but to truly see someone grow, they need to know what they did wrong and see how it affected them. Now, with advisors, I'm not telling you that your company it's going to be sheltered from mistakes, but it's most likely than not, those mistakes are going to be that expensive or that long. We might be able to catch that mistake that would have caught us 12 months if you had no advisors or consultants or mentors. It's probably going to be reduced to 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month's worth. That's it. Now, we are not, as advisors or mentors or consultants, we are not going to give immediate answers to those questions or going to do the things on behalf of your executive team. We're going to guide them. We're going to coach them. Do you think Michael Jordan's coach went out to the basketball court and played on behalf of Michael Jordan? Nope. He coached them. He coached Michael Jordan to become an excellent basketball player. Michael Jordan went out to the basketball court and played on his own. He did mistakes. Yes, he did mistakes. Did he lose shots? Yes, he lost some shots. But what did he do? He learned from that. And do you think that the next shot from the same angle, same position, same whatever it is, did he miss it? No. But he learned. Before you start letting them make huge decisions, you also need to provide them the training, the guidance, and understanding of why certain decisions need to be made in certain ways to ensure they are making the best decision. But you also need to let them be. You cannot be micromanaging. You cannot continue working in the business. When you create a culture that you know will work without you, you can actually start enjoying the rewards of what you have built. I am not taking credit from you. I am not saying that, oh, you didn't do it. No, it's to the opposite. It's your vision. It's your company. You created the culture. You, and only you. But it's not about you. I don't know how that makes sense, but it is true. It's your culture. It's your company. It's your systems, your procedures, your business. But it's not about you. That doesn't mean you have to leave the business, though. You should leave the day-to-day operations to your team. You can't continue being hands-on. You can't continue being the most expensive employee in your company because it's not all about the money as well. You might be sabotaging decisions. You might be contraindicating decisions from your executive team. You might be putting your executive team against each other. You might be providing wrong signals or indirect signals that are not letting the company move forward. Oh, I could have done that better. That's my thinking. So you need to let the day-to-day operations to your team. This puts you in a position of more of an advisor to the business than an owner. You are starting to become the true CEO, the true visionary of the endeavor, of the enterprise. The CEO sells. The CEO reviews that their executive team have done. The CEO leads the team. It's not the operator. The COO, it's the operator. It's the one that gets the hands dirty, to say it some way. It's not that they're going to be doing the things on their own. They have their team, correct? As an advisor, you can help create more ideas and develop better ways to serve your customers or provide the product. You're going to be consistently reinventing. You're going to be consistently creating and inventing new businesses, right? You are going to make sure your business stays on a growth path for a long time. We have mentioned it, and we've said that you also need fresh blood in your company. Every single generation has a different vision, has a different idea of the services that you're providing. Let me give you an example. Accountants prior to my generation think that tax planning, it's not necessary. They think that accounting, it's only matter of credit, debit, preparing the books, and preparing a tax return. Okay? My generation might think that tax planning should be the norm. Credits and debits should be left to apprentices or to other type of individuals in the accounting industry. Generations under me say, no, fuck that. Taxes, prior generation. We're going to consult. This generation, we're going to help companies grow their business. They have a more not hands-on, but more of a consulting approach to their practice. All of them are right. It's generational. If your company is just comprised of one or two generations, you're going to be serving those generations only. You need to understand into your company fresh blood from those generations so they can actually teach you what they want. Millennials, they can care less about the numbers and they can care less about the taxes. To them, just tell them how to make money and how to help the world. Peace and love. That's what they want. If you haven't noticed it, then you don't know their generation. How can you be serving them? And that's a huge chunk of the market. So be open for a long-lasting company, not a short-term company. Be constantly reinventing yourself. Don't become the Sears or the JC Penney in your industry. Reinvent yourself. So, do you have a pressing question that you want to ask me, the Shark CFO? Send us an email, send us a video to invictus-advisors.com/shark, and let's get into a conversation. Let me help you at least tackle one of your issues and see how can you grow. Plain and simple. Okay? Follow us on our social media, Invictus Advisors. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. What else? I think LinkedIn. I'm going to tell you about my experience today with LinkedIn on a later episode, but it's going to be very interesting because I'm just going to give you some I won't. I'll let it to be a good lunch with the shark about customer service. So today's quote, It's going to be from the first woman to serve on the board of Facebook. And she's currently the CEO, Sheryl Sandberg. Wow. The first woman to serve on the board of Facebook. Just a quick information. It's very interesting that yesterday, the running candidate for the Democratic Party here in the United States announced his vice president nominee, and it's a woman, first time in history, and also a minority from the African American sector, or what is it called? I forget. So she's an African American, and she would be the first running woman as a VP. And if they win, she might become the first vice president woman in the United States. And today in my call with my cousin, I was telling him, you know what? It's a great, amazing that a woman might be running this country as the vice president. If you noticed, the majority of the banks in the United States are managed by women. The local branches, the majority are run by women. FYI. So the quote from Ms. Sheryl Sandberg, the Facebook CEO and first woman to serve on the board, she said, "We cannot change what we are not aware of. And once we are aware, we can't help but change it." Just to make it very clear, you don't know what you don't know. Once you know it, you have to implement it. We cannot change what we are not aware of. And once we are aware, we cannot help but change. See you tomorrow with another episode of Lunch with the Shark, and we'll continue with the entrepreneurial series. Good afternoon and bon appetit.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with the Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com, and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.